Welcome everyone to my Global Challenge channel. I am Simon with dyslexia. I am riding a Royal Enfield Himalayan where I started in Toronto, Canada, and I am aiming to get to Ushuaia in Argentina. In this video I'm going to be talking about the first stage of my trip, because all my videos previous I've been too nervous to talk on the camera when I was filming at the start of my trip. I planned this trip for about 5 years, and I did a lot of research on Google, YouTube, websites to get loads of information. And I thought I was planned enough when I first got to Canada, which I was not. As I got my bike out of customs, you cannot get insurance for a foreign bike without permanent residence in Canada. And I had to find an insurance company, which took about 3 hours, where I sat outside on a floor with my phone trying to insurance companies which would insure my bike. Out of 11 companies which I found, one which was in America which covers Canada as well, which is expensive as they quoted $325 for 1 month. I ended up spending 2 weeks in Toronto, as with my insurance I had to wait for documents to come through, and I wasn't able to ride my bike as the insurance company said. And at the meantime I met a guy called Josh, and he helped me through a difficult time because I was suffering with anxiety and I didn't think I could do my trip on my bike as I was overloaded. As I was suffering with anxiety, I decided to get quotes to ship my bike back to the UK. The company which I needed to ship my bike to only goes out of Vancouver, and my bike was in Toronto, so I had to somehow get my bike to Vancouver. So I decided to try my best and ride across Canada to Vancouver. With my dyslexia, I struggle with reading road signs and names of cities, towns, road names, so I have to rely on my TomTom satellite navigation or Google Maps. But as you can tell, sometimes relying on Google Maps and the TomTom takes you wrong ways, so you have to keep an eye on them. So I've taken quite a few different routes as I've missed my turning. As a few days of me riding in Canada, I came across a Facebook page called Bunk a Biker, where I stayed at Joy's house, which was quite funny because my dad's a school bus driver back in England, and the first person's house I stayed at, she was also a school bus driver, and so I'm standing next to a American school bus. So I took a picture to send to my dad. I ended up riding on a dirt road for the first time in Canada, fully loaded. I was very nervous as I still wasn't comfortable riding with all the weight on my bike, as I only been riding for a few days by now. I ended up staying for a few days in Thunder Bay. I met Kiara at Haven Hostel, where she redesigned my logo, as I found out I couldn't upload any of my logos on any of the social media platforms, so she redid my logos. And then I ended up meeting her sister Nadine, who showed me how to do stuff on Instagram and redo my Instagram settings so I could play music and do other stuff on it. Joy, the first bunker biker lady who I stayed with, set me up with her cousin Rick, who I met in North Battleford, and we rode to Westlock to his house, where I stayed for a weekend was on Canada Day. I was riding towards Jasper National Park when there was a queue of traffic, which ended up being there as there was a car accident in the park, and they was telling everyone the road was going to be closed till about 4 o'clock. I don't think this guy liked me and these other two bikers going past the traffic. In Canada, you aren't supposed to lane split, but this guy who I was following, he told me let's just go, as this was still the queue of traffic from the roadblock from the accident from the morning. And then as we was going, one of the guys who was clearing the road came up and said they've just reopened the road. I got told about this ghost town in Slindon where Nikola Tesla built a power station, and it's still running to this day. I stayed with a guy called Chris from Bunker Biker. I was only planning to stay one night with him, but we got talking when we was having dinner, and he likes to go off-roading, so as I wasn't very comfortable, he decided to take me around Lake Christina and all the dirt roads around that area, but it ended up taking a little bit longer than what we planned, so he has a family lake house, so we ended up spending a night at his family's lake house, and the next day he ended up taking me along some good old train track. The next day he ended up taking me to a old train track which is designed for bikes, off-roaders and horse riders, with lots of bridges and tunnels, and he taught me how to ride in on dirt roads.
My bike leans over so far, I need a better kickstand.
And mine don't lean over enough.
Yeah, good trade.
Thank you for watching. Click the like button and subscribe. Thank you.